Hello, this is Ring to Road. Now we're going to be dissecting P1 and P2 in the Japanese Grand Prix. Very interesting, P2, as we'll later get onto in this video. It's only going to be short and sweet. So practice one, we had Lando Norris topping it, which is very tight between the McLaren and the Mercedes. Now, obviously, it's P1. Take it with a pinch of salt. They're going to turn up their engines in P3 or qualifying either. Q3 is when they obviously turn it up the most. So let's just talk about the interesting thing what came out of this session, and is how Yuki Tsunoda is just over 1/10 from his teammate, the four-time world champion Max Verstappen. Now this exceeded my expectations, if I was being completely honest. So I was saying to my co-host Ethan, which is on the Chequered podcast, I'll leave it in the description below, how I think he was going to massively underperform. Due to the reason that the Red Bull card is very difficult. Alex Albon mentioned it on his podcast recently, how he best described it as if the car was very sensitive. So, for example, if you play Call of Duty on console, if you turn the sensitivity up to 10, it's practically unplayable, and that is how the car is fitted to Max Verstappen's liking, which is very difficult to adapt.
You guys play computer games at all? But if you bump up the sensitivity, right, completely to the max, and you move that mouse and it's just darting across the screen everywhere, that's kind of how it feels. It becomes so sharp that it makes you a little bit tense.
He actually did. And, just to show how good this is as a performance from Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson in Australia in FP1, his first practice session, he was 8/10 off Max Verstappen. So the fact he's only a 10th off now, that is quite promising. And Red Bull Daily, their Twitter, if you're following them. If you're not, no problem, I'm here to tell you. Christian Horner actually came out and said that they used the same...
Yeah, I think obviously an opportunity this weekend, and yeah, maybe something I wasn't expecting so early.
Christian Horner actually came out and said that they used the same engine mode. So, for example, they didn't turn up that engine, they didn't use any maximize performance, they were on the exact same engine. So what that means is that they didn't turn up that engine. So that basically shows again that they're very similar in performance. So that is Q1 in a nutshell. Q2 was much more complicated. There was like 4 red flags, and I see a lot of people on Twitter basically saying that Yuki Tsunoda is 2 seconds off Max Verstappen. He's finished. He's like the other Red Bull drivers. But you got to put it into perspective. They don't show you on this, but on this photo. But Max Verstappen was on the soft tyre. Yuki Tsunoda was on the medium tyre. Now that is at least a second, if not more, in difference. But there's been 4 red flags. So Yuki Tsunoda was not able to get a good lap in. Not only that, as I mentioned earlier, he was on the medium, so it was a slower tyre than Max Verstappen overall. So you can't really look into that too much. You see a lot of people on Twitter, say, Yuki Tsunoda's going to be far off Lewis Hamilton. If it fits their agenda, Max Verstappen. If it fits their agenda, then they're going to say that. But if you look at the research, if you dig in, see the actual details, 4 red flags, he was on a different tyre, couldn't get a clean lap in, so you cannot compare him on that. Now, something that's very interesting that I'd like to mention. So, in FP2, both of Racing Bulls were actually faster than Max Verstappen and both Red Bulls. So there's suggestions in the paddock that the Racing Bulls are actually a better car than the RB21. We don't know. We will find out tomorrow, of course, in qualifying. If it is, then how poetic would that be for Liam Lawson getting downgraded, but actually is an upgrade. So that'd be very interesting indeed. So let's talk about Yuki Tsunoda. So he's come out and said that it was better than he expected and it's a good start for himself. However, as you can see there, he didn't set a lap time in FP2. Was because of the red flags, etc. But he's going to, he has to do more to build up confidence, which is his first Grand Prix. It's the first time he's in the Red Bull car. So in my opinion, he exceeded everyone's expectations. He's done very well. So I cannot give him more props than he deserves. He's done very well in my opinion.
Hi Yuki, how was session 1 for you? Obviously you didn't set a sort of representative run in FP2, but in FP1 you certainly looked comfortable.
Yeah, FP1 was better than expected. Yeah, good start for myself, and FP2. Yeah, I didn't set a lap time. I think lots of work to do. Maybe yeah, slightly struggled, or something that we have to look through data in FP2 more. But yeah, so far I mean overall it's okay. Yeah, just have to build up confidence more.
So, we got Max Verstappen here again, saying, it was quite difficult today. They tried a lot, but it just couldn't really come together. So again, this favours Yuki Tsunoda, in my opinion. The fact he was only a 10th off in the first practice session goes to show that he is actually up there with Max Verstappen. Now, obviously, tomorrow's going to be a different ball game. Engine mode is going to be higher, so the chances of them crashing could be, because they're pushing the limits. As we all seen, 4 red flags today. So it is a track where people can actually have a DNF. So it'll be very interesting to see. Now, this is just a quick video just to keep you updated on what's happening. I thought it'd be very interesting to, just to make a video on Yuki Tsunoda, because I was one of them. I didn't think he'd perform, not because he's a bad driver. He's a great driver. He beat Daniel Ricciardo consistently in, over the past 2 seasons. And, in my opinion, which I get onto into the Chequered Flag podcast, which I'll link in the description below. Daniel Ricciardo gave Max Verstappen his most problems. His other teammates, like Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, Alex Albon, even Carlos Sainz, they didn't really push him to the max. Well, that's quite poetic, isn't it? To the max. But yeah, but they didn't. However, Daniel Ricciardo did. As that famous race in Azerbaijan when they both hit each other. You got that iconic photo of Max Verstappen hitting his wheel. But yeah, I cannot give Yuki Tsunoda more props. He's an absolutely superb in my opinion. But yeah, this is just a quick video. I thought I'd just make it my first video. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. I will possibly make a video tomorrow dissecting qualifying, and then we'll talk about the race as well. I will make a podcast with my co-host Ethan. I believe it will be Monday. If not, we do it another day, but I'll keep you updated. So yeah, please subscribe if you did like it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well, where I'll be talking about the race in detail. So yeah, that's about it. If you liked it, as I said again, please like, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace.